looking to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Judith Limer delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region on today's headlines. As many as 20 Vietnamese citizens are feared among 39 people found dead in a truck in Britain last week, families and community organizers said Saturday, as one of the alleged truck owners denied involvement in the tragedy. Malaysia's mammoth palm oil sector faces a new threat after Indian traders were asked to halt purchases amid a diplomatic row over Kashmir, piling further pressure on the industry as Europe also plans cutbacks. And the Iglesia Ni Cristo held cleanup drives in various parts of Thailand. As many as 20 Vietnamese citizens are feared among 39 people found dead in a truck in Britain last week. Families and community organizers said Saturday as one of the alleged truck owners denied involvement in the tragedy. British police initially said all of the 31 men and 8 women found early Wednesday in a refrigerated lorry in an industrial park in Grays, east of London, were believed to be Chinese nationals. 4 people have been held over the incident, which has shocked Britain and shed light on dangerous trafficking routes into Europe taken by undocumented migrants. Several Vietnamese families now fear their relatives, who may have been carrying falsified Chinese passports, are among the victims. Britain-based community group Viet Home said it had received the photos of nearly 20 people reported missing, age 15 to 45 from Vietnam, a popular source for smuggled migrants looking to better their lives in the UK. The truck carrying the migrants arrived in Purfleet on the River Thames estuary on a ferry from the Belgian port of Zeebrugge, just over an hour before ambulance crews called the police at 1:40 a.m. The driver, a 25-year-old man from Northern Ireland, was arrested at the scene. A married couple were held in Warrington in northwest England on Friday, including a woman who allegedly once owned the truck that carried the container, according to media reports. Meanwhile, a dread is mounting across Vietnam as relatives of migrants fear to be among 39 people found dead in a refrigerated truck in Britain, reveal details of their last contact with their loved ones. Lam In Tuan has not heard from his son, Levin Ha, since a message over Facebook around a week ago. Take a look.
Tức là từ mấy ngày, từ ngày 22 cho đến 23, 24 thì chú cũng có hy vọng là có phép màu nào đó thì là không ập đến với con trai của chú. Nhưng mà từ ngày 25 cho đến nay thì không có một tia hy vọng nào ở chú nữa, mà ruột gan rất là nóng. Đồng thời rất suy nghĩ về con, mà mỗi lần suy nghĩ về con thì bố khóc. Bà con là cháu người ta kéo đến thì bố lại cảm không kìm nén nổi. Thì mong mà rằng mà coi như là sớm có tin của cháu. Thì cháu có 2 con, thì cháu cũng nguyện vọng là kinh tế gia đình nó quá khó khăn. Thì cháu cũng muốn đi ra là đi theo bạn bè để đi ra đi làm ăn để kiếm thêm đồng tiền để về là nuôi con. Thì hoàn cảnh kinh tế của gia đình thì là bố thì không có, quá khó khăn, nên khi cháu ra đi thì là hoàn toàn là vay, bố vay cả, tức là bố đứng cọc.
Britain's Detective Chief Inspector Martin Passmore says he is working closely with the Vietnamese ambassador in order to identify the 39 people found dead in a truck in Britain last week. Take a look.
I've made it perfectly clear to the ambassador that at every stage we'll be treating, these individuals, with our victims, with dignity and respect. Underlying all of that, of course, we don't know exactly the nationality of our individuals, but at the moment I'm going to focus and engage as much as I possibly can within the Vietnamese community. We have people coming into the country either being trafficked or as asylum seekers, and we know that the borders are very tight and complicated, and there are more and more chances being taken.
In other news, a design flaw, inadequate pilot training, and poor flight crew performance contributed to a Boeing jet crashing in Indonesia last year, killing all 189 people on board, the investigators said Friday. The Lion Air disaster was followed months later by a second crash involving the same model of aircraft, when an Ethiopian Airlines plane went down with 157 people aboard, leading to the global grounding of the Boeing's entire 737 MAX fleet. The crashes had thrown a spotlight on the MAX model's Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, an automated anti-stall mechanism that pilots in both planes had struggled to control as the jet careered downwards. On Friday, Indonesia's National Transportation Safety Committee said there were flaws in Boeing's design of the anti-stall mechanism and of its certification by U.S. regulators. The MCAS was vulnerable to a sole sensor that it relied on 4 inputs, and 737 MAX pilots were not properly briefed on how to handle malfunction, it said. The aircraft flight manual and flight crew training did not include information about MCAS, the report said. A sensor on the MCAS was miscalibrated and the problem was not caught by Lion Air maintenance crews, it said. After the jet's previous flights also experienced a loss of control problems. The report also said the emergency was not effectively managed by the crew, whose performances had previously been identified during training and reappeared during the accident flight.
The absence of information on the MCAS on the pilot manual, it makes the pilot was not aware to the MCAS system, and they could not identify what happened on the flight, since they did not recognize what happened to the aircraft, because the behavior was not mentioned in the training and also is not mentioned in the manual. Was the replacement of the AOS sensor that was replaced or installed in the aircraft was miscalibrated during the repair. The repair was in US, and the miscalibration was not identified during the repair, and afterward the AOS sensor delivered to Indonesia and stored in ineffective crew coordination and ineffective workload management. The issue related it is communication and coordination and workload management. Previously has been identified on the training, then it reappeared on this accident flight.
Meanwhile, in Thailand, the family of one of the 2 Myanmar men on death row for the murder of 2 British tourists is pleading for clemency for the Thai king over the killings, in a case tainted by claims of irregularities. Watch this.
Phổ sang tin là hai cái đấy, mà mình ăn lâu lâu nữa. Cho nên nhiều mà bên này xem mà đây bài bài, rồi pro sang bài, đầu tuần đầu sai đi, lúc đó sang ra Nam Mô này bài, tuần đầu sai đi, hoàng thị sang lúc pro sang bài. Tôi mà giúp đỡ tôi khám cái lúc bài.
หลังเกิดเหตุไปไหนยังไงหนีออกจากพื้นที่
Này cái này phải tại vì bây giờ thì mà này cái đó lúc đấy số lượng hay cái bây giờ rồi thì thế này cái bố vi và thùng để bày.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN channel 725 same day as the Philippines.
Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows live
And on demand anytime, anywhere on
any mobile device on OSN Play.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria Marikio, and today I'm here at Haystack Rock in Oregon. So this famous rock formation is a great place to witness sunrise and sunsets. You can set up a picnic blanket and hang out with your friends or family here at the beach. For more stuff like this, tune in to ABC Digital Nest. I'm Rio, and I'm 1 with 25.
Welcome back. The Philippines is now one of the top 100 most competitive countries in the world for doing business, as it has implemented more regulatory reforms to improve its business climate. The World Bank released its Doing Business 2020 report, indicating the Philippines' sharp improvement of 29 notches in the global rankings of the ease of doing business to the 95th from 124th among 190 economies. Here's Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez. Take a look.
So you will be the first to hear that the World Bank has just released its Doing Business 2020 report, which shows our country's remarkable improvement relative to ease of doing business. So the Philippines EODB score, ease of doing business score, increased from 57.68 to 62.8 or plus 5.12 points. Alam niyo dito yung bawat point, napaka-laki ng galaw sa rank. Kasi we are ranked also, pagkulat kayo po, pinag-uusapan natin yung LGU ranking versus others. Tayo rin po, kung Pilipinas, we are ranked against, hanggang na ngayon, 170 countries. 190 countries. So that 62.8 new score translates now to a sharp improvement in our rank from 124th to 95th place among 190 economies. This is a long jump of 29 notches. Our double-digit improvement is even made more significant given the following facts. The Philippines was cited by the World Bank as one of the 42 economies which implemented regulatory reforms in more than 3 topics, which resulted in significant improvements in our EODB scores. The Philippines is one of the top 3 high jumpers among the 190 economies covered by the World Bank study. In terms of rank, the Philippines is the 3rd highest. In terms of the increase, next only to Togo, plus 40, Saudi Arabia, plus 30, and we share the same spot with Jordan, which also increased by plus 29 notches. Among ASEAN, Philippines recorded the highest improvement, both in rank and EODB score, followed by Myanmar, which rose from 171 to 165th, and that's plus 6 notches, and its EODB score from 44.7 to 46.8, or plus 2.08. The last time the Philippines ranked 95th, the highest spot we have so far was in the year 2014.
Meanwhile, Malaysia's mammoth palm oil sector faces a new threat after Indian traders were asked to halt purchases amid a diplomatic row over Kashmir, piling further pressure on the industry as Europe also plans cutbacks. The Southeast Asian nation is the 2nd biggest producer after Indonesia of the oil, used in everything from food to cosmetics. in a sector long vilified by environmentalists who blame it for fueling deforestation. With Western companies reducing use of the commodity as green groups ratchet up pressure, the top two growers have increasingly come to rely on demand from India, the world's biggest buyer of edible oils, and China. But a speech by Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad at the United Nations General Assembly last month, in which he said New Delhi had invaded and occupied Kashmir, has sparked a backlash in India that could badly hit the sector. There has been a sympathy in the mostly Muslim Malaysia for Kashmiris after the Hindu nationalist government in New Delhi revoked the Muslim-majority region's autonomy in August and imposed a lockdown to quell unrest. Kashmir has been split between India and Pakistan since 1947 and has sparked wars and numerous skirmishes between the two countries. An armed rebellion against Indian rule has raged in the valley since 1989. Mahathir's comments prompted calls for Indians to shun Malaysian products, with social media users posting angry messages alongside hashtag boycott Malaysia, while rumors swirled New Delhi may hike tariffs on Malaysian palm oil. Earlier this week, a major Indian vegetable oil trade body called on its 875 members to avoid buying palm oil from Malaysia, noting the government was mulling retaliatory measures. In other news, a Singapore restaurant Thursday suspended a bizarre promotional stunt where customers use an arcade-style machine with mechanical claw to catch live crabs after it sparked uproar online. A video of the pink machine containing the creatures and emblazoned with a picture of a smiling red crab under the phrase "Come and catch me" went viral after being posted last week. Similar to machines where people pick up soft toys, the game sees the customers pay $3.7 to use a joystick to move the claw over the creatures before lowering it to try to grab one. If successful, the customer can have the Sri Lankan crab cooked on the spot free of charge. Choose to take it home or leave it at the House of Seafood restaurant to eat another time. But internet users condemned the game as cruel after the specially produced video promoting it went online. The Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals said the machine causes unnecessary harm to the animals, and it also encourages people to see animals as nothing more than objects to play with. Crabs are living creatures, not toys, it added. The government's Animal and Veterinary Service said it was alerted to the case and was investigating. House of Seafood Chief Executive Francis Nang told AFP the promotion, which began this month, had been suspended after the outcry, but added he was surprised at the reaction. He said the people think they torture them, but they don't have any intention of doing that, and the crabs are not being hurt. The claw is covered with plastic, and the area inside is cushioned to prevent injury if the creatures are dropped, added Nung, who also posted an apology on the restaurant chain's Facebook page. Nung said a similar promotion at 2 restaurants he operates in China was a success. He plans to meet with Singapore authorities and will cease using the machine permanently if ordered. Restaurants across Asia often keep live seafood in tanks for diners to peek out for their meals.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eagle news, because we live in interesting times.
Welcome back. The Iglesia Ni Cristo held cleanup drives in various parts of Thailand. Our EBC correspondent from Southeast Asia, Cristel Mapa, reports from Bangkok.
A cleanup drive was held in various local congregations in district of Thailand. Thailand is known for its beautiful beaches, but plastic pollution in coastlines has been a known problem too. Volunteers in Phuket, Sriracha, and Chonburi, where beautiful beaches lies, took their part in picking up trashes. While in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, volunteers clean up the surrounding of the Royal Palace and in the banks of Mekong River, which is known as the 12th longest river in the world. Brooms in their hands and smiles on their faces, volunteers from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, gathered in a public park not just to bond, but more so to help in maintaining its cleanliness.
So how did you feel about joining this activity?
This activity actually made us happy. We overseas Filipino workers here in Vietnam. We all know that we are very hardworking here, that we do not have just one employer. Some of us have multiple employers, like 5 or 6, that every week we are so busy. So this day has been beneficial for us. It is our time to somehow give back to the society that is also helping us, which is Vietnam, and also to have some quality time with the brethren in our faith.
Volunteers in Metro Bangkok area, adults and children, help one another. They were greeted by neighbors as they sweep the vicinity of their community. A Thai woman offered free drinks to volunteers to express her appreciation. This kind of activity shows how members of Iglesia Ni Cristo gives back to the community. A small act with big impact to the neighborhood. They will continue to participate in this kind of activity launched by the church administration. Reporting from Thailand, I am Cristel Mapa. I am 1U25.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Judith Yamera and I'm 1U25.
Accurate and fair reporting